Welcome to episode 32 of Bottoms Up here on the channel with Aveley. And today is going to be a little bit different because we've got a job interview to go to. Okay, so we have come back a little bit earlier than what I was originally anticipating. We was going to come back for the FA Cup first round game against Spennymoor, which probably will still be this episode. But I'm filming this a little bit before that, because something's happened. Now, we've had a job interview given to us, and I haven't been to the job interview yet, but I'm about to go there and I'm going to take you with me in a second. But let's just look at where we are. We're at Parkside with Aveley, capacity of 4,500, 1 star on all of these with half a star for youth recruitment. Our bank balance is low. It's getting better. It's got better to what it was last time I looked at it. You know, it was about 181,000 in the red then. We're now 127,000. Since you were last with me, we were here for the 2 games against South Shields, the league game and the FA Cup game. We drew 0-0 against Harrogate, who are near the relegation zone in our league, and they absolutely dominated us. How we didn't lose that, I don't know. Then we lost away to Aldershot, who are up in the promotion areas in the playoffs. We played a lot better in that game, lost 2-1. And then a really good performance against Accrington, 3-1. Cortez and 2 goals from Shamar Lawson, our 2 central midfielders, absolutely dominating that game for the first time since they've been a pair. So that's a sign of improvement there. That leaves us, as you can see here, 9th in the league, 27 points on the board, which means we are 10 points away from the relegation. Now, if we go over here, Stevenage have offered the job interview. The Stevenage board have invited you to attend an interview with them as they wish to discuss with you the possibility of becoming their new manager. The board are extremely impressed with your outstanding performance at Aveley, which is why we have identified you as one of their top candidates. Although the board are confident in your ability to perform, they do have slight reservations about your suitability to deliver the club's vision for the future. This is mainly as a result of your slight reluctance towards making set pieces an important part of your approach. The interview will give the board the opportunity to discuss their ambitions and plans with you in more detail so we can reinforce our belief in your suitability for the role. Now, that all sounds really positive. As long as I don't mess up the interview, then it sounds really positive. They're better than us in terms of reputation, training facilities and youth recruitment. They have got a worse bank balance, which is a concern, and they've got a £1.2 million loan debt. The Lamex Stadium, which has a capacity of 7,800. What is encouraging is even though they are down here in 20th, they are 6 points away from the relegation zone. Their media prediction is 13th, so they're underperforming. So they've obviously got better quality players there than what they're currently performing to. If we can look at their players, it doesn't give us any of the star ratings or anything like that in here, but they've got a very reasonable squad. I mean, look at it. So this could be a possibility, folks. I'm going to attend the interview. Whether I get the job or I end up taking the job is another matter. If we look at the job centre, Stevenage are here. I'm not the favourite for the job. Ryan Lowe is favourite for the job, and he's got a 1.5 star reputation. And if you look at my profile, I have a 2-star reputation. My posh Continental C licence, don't you know? So I don't know, we could be in with a chance. This could be the episode where we move on. Now, my intention is I'm going to go to this job interview now, but then afterwards I'm going to carry on playing the Sutton and Boston United games, and then we'll come back for Spennymoor and Dagenham and Redbridge. If we get offered the job before the Spennymoor game, then I have no idea how this episode is going to go. It will probably be me moving clubs. But let's get into the job interview, and attend interviews, the right button to press. Hello Damien, thank you for agreeing to speak to us so we can put forward our vision for the club and allow you to suggest any alterations should you become our new manager. Now, what is also interesting is if it gets out that I've attended this interview, will Aveley offer me a new contract on more money? Because according to the board, I'm untouchable. I'm glad you've given me the chance to talk to the club. Let's get down to business. I'm sure that's a song somewhere, an Eminem song. Right, do you think it's a positive or a negative thing that you have thus far managed just one team? I mean, to be fair, I don't think it's a negative. I mean, I do in the fact that I'd like to be managing a top Premier League club and competing in the Champions League, but it's probably a bit early in my career for that. To be fair, I've not had the longest career, so my opportunities to garner experience elsewhere have been minimal. I don't know if I want to say that. There isn't much loyalty left in football anymore, but I think it reflects well on me that I've shown plenty of it. But you offer me a big pile of cash and I'm coming to you. My loyalty only goes so far. I've dedicated more time, patience and emotion to my job than I dare to remember, and I think most people would agree that I've done good work there. That actually, I think that could be a good one. I would think such enlightened individuals, that sounds a bit patronising, don't it? I would think such enlightened individuals such as yourselves would be able to understand the circumstances particular to my career and avoid shallow questions like that. That is not one to go for. I don't think it matters whether I've had one club or many clubs. The only issue is whether I'm right for your club. No, that's not the one. I feel it's going to be one of these three. I like this one. I've dedicated more time, patience, emotion to my job than I dare to remember. I don't know if that's true, though. To be fair, I've not had the longest career, and so my opportunity is to garner experience elsewhere. I mean, that's probably the more truthful one. I'm going with that one. You've done some highly impressive work at your current club. Why do you want to move on? Money, mate. We've all got to live. We've got to pay bills. It's time for me to take the next step, and hopefully that can be here. I mean, that seems like a good answer. I feel I've taken them as far as I can, and that all parties will be best served by a change of scenery. I believe I'm in the position to take the positive momentum I've built up recently and use it to hit the ground running here. Ask for chance. I've been seeking a new challenge for a while now. Well, to be fair, I have. And this opportunity is very appealing. Disagree. My current circumstances bear little relation to how I might manage your club, so I don't believe that matters. I mean, if you want to mess up an interview, there's certainly obvious ones to go for. I do like this one. It's time for me to take the next step, and hopefully that can be here. That seems a good one as well. And all the convinced ones, it's time for me to take the next step, and hopefully that can be here. I feel I've taken them as far as I can, and that all parties would be best served. I'll go with the first one. Are you willing to assure us that you'd do a better job of meeting expectations than your potential predecessor did? I mean, I will always back myself to succeed. My record speaks for itself. We'll go with this one because it's highlighted. It's the one that it's kind of tenders to go with. I will always back myself to concede, but I'm not arrogant. We parted company with our last manager much sooner than anybody would have anticipated. Can you offer assurances that we won't be in for a repeat of that? I mean, mate, you've seen what I can do. Just decide for yourself if you want to give it a job. It's my intention to commit to a long and successful career with this club. Provided nobody else comes in 6 months later with a bigger pile of cash, then yeah, that'd be true. I have a proven track record of spending considerable time in a job. Yeah, I've never once in my career departed after only a brief spell at a club. That speaks volumes. True. I'm the sort of manager who wants to win now. I want short-term success, and I think I can make it happen here. No, that don't sound like what I need to be saying. It's my intention to commit to a long and successful career with a club. That would be a lie. I can't say that. I'm not concerned about who did what and when. I focus only on myself. I mean, that would build into the arrogant side of it, wouldn't it? I feel it's got to be one of these two. I mean, that one is probably the best one for the board. That's why it's highlighted. But I think this one's the truth, so I'm going to go with that one. We need a manager who can work with limited resources. Is that you? Have you seen Aveley? You don't get much more limited than that, and I've got us a promotion. And we avoided relegation, and on course to do the same this year. I'll do the right thing with the club's money. That sounds like a challenge I'm up for. If we all just focus on playing football, everything else was sorted. I'll do the right thing with the club's money. I think that's the right answer, really. Are you the right person to turn this underachieving club around? I'm not going to say no, am I? I'm not going to say, nah, that's not me. I'm all about motivation. That's what will get the job done here. I believe I have a reputation that sufficiently answers that question. I back myself to come in and make an immediate difference. I'd make one or two small adjustments and then enjoy the results. This team doesn't need a radical overhaul. It's closer than people think. I don't think the club is underperforming, and given the chance, I think I could take the team even further. I don't think the club is underperforming. Well, that's a lie. Don't offend me by asking such foolish questions. Oh, can you imagine if someone actually does select them. I think I'm going to say I back myself to come in and make an immediate difference. Would you be comfortable working with Gavin Bricknell, our director of football? I'm more than happy to work with him. Yep. Oh God, this is a paragraph and a half. We understand the importance of having the right backroom team in place when a manager moves to a new club. So we are willing to allow you to request any changes you would like to make to our current backroom team, as well as the opportunity to request any staff members you want to bring with you from your current club. What sort of budget would you be looking for to make these changes? I hope to have a complete overhaul of the backroom team, so I'd need a sizable budget. I mean, that's the one to press if you don't want to get the job. I'd like the budget to be in place for me to make a fair amount of changes. I'm going to say I don't need to make any changes. I don't expect to make wholesale changes, so I'll probably only need a small budget. I don't wish to propose any changes in advance of taking on the role, so no budget will be required. Fair enough. I don't know what their team is, to be honest, or what their staffing situation is. This is a long-term... There needs to be a thing in here, by the way, that when you're answering questions about staffing and budgets and all this sort of stuff, that you can click on to view what the current situation is, because otherwise you're answering blind. You know, it's a bit of a pointless question. This is a long-term vision, a blueprint we would expect any manager to implement. Your thoughts would be appreciated. So develop players using the club's youth system. I'm fine with that. Play attacking football. If you've got the players for it, I'm fine with that. Play possession football. Again, if you've got the players for it, I'm fine with that. Make the most of set. They like making the most set pieces, these lot. So none of them is required, but these top two are preferred. Then we get down to the actionable objectives. Work within the wage budget, fine, that is required, absolutely. Grow the club's reputation, fine. Maximum 1 year contracts of players over the age of 32. I don't really want players over the age of 32 in my club, but yeah. Finishing, so in the end of the current season, finishing mid-table in the Sky Bet League 2. Oh, okay, you're asking a bit. I mean, they're asking us to do the media prediction of 13th. Be competitive in the FA Cup. Be competitive in the Bristol St Motors Trophy. What on earth is that? What is a Bristol St Motors Trophy? Is that the old Papa John's? Because if they just added another trophy, I don't know. I mean, then top two are required. That one's just preferred. Then the end of next season, grow the club's reputation, blah, 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 blah. Continue to finish mid-table. So they have no other ambition than being mid-table in League 2. I think it's an exciting vision and shows that the club has the right level of ambition. I'd like to suggest some changes to the proposed vision. No, we'll agree. If hired, we would expect you to position the team for a mid-table finish. Is that fair, or do you think you could do even better? I'm not going to exceed expectations. I think we could finish in... No, if given this job, I would be able to reach the proposed mid-table finish. We're currently thinking of giving you a transfer budget of 2.5 thousand, or steady on. What do you think of the proposed figure? I think it's ridiculous. What can I do with 2.5k? I'll just move that into wage budget, I'll tell you that now. I think the proposed transfer budget is realistic and would give me the funds needed to bring the squad up to scratch if hired. I think we just click that one. What do you think of a proposed wage budget of £30,932 per week? I really don't know. So I don't know what the norm is in your division. So I mean, all I know is at the moment I'm on 10,900 in the championship, in the National League, and that's nowhere near enough. So it does seem lowish. I'd be happy to work the proposed wage budget should I get the role. It's a big enough budget to attract the quality of players required to the club. I mean, again, if you want to get the job, you basically just have to agree with these. Is there anything else you want to ask us that would help your cause? If hired, I would like the board to expand the capacity of the club stadium. Yeah, make the ground bigger. I mean, no, I'm good, thanks. That's all the questions that we have for you today. We would like to thank you for agreeing to speak to us, and we will be in touch once we've decided upon our new manager for the club. And then we can leave the meeting. So there we have it. We have left the meeting with Stevenage. We've had the interview. I'm now going to move forward through the game and see how many games we can get played before we potentially hear anything back. If we go to the staffing section, the job centre, excuse me, we're still not the favourite. I mean, what else is that? Well, we could always go for the Leeds United job. I don't think we'll get it, but we can go for it. But, okay, so the next time you see me will either be for the game against Spennymoor or when we have an update on the job interview. Okay, folks, so we've not even got into the next game yet. It's about 3 days later, 2 days later, something like that. And as you can see, Aveley are offering me a new contract. They're potentially reducing the wage budget by a couple of £100. They're offering me £375 a week. No promises or anything like that. All of this is basically the same. And if we look at my contract at the moment, I'm on £325 a week until the end of next season, with a promotion wage rise of 30% and a relegation wage drop of 35%. I'm going to turn down this contract, or walk away anyway, because that's not enough. £375 a week to stay here isn't enough. So the talks have broken down. I've walked away from a job offer with Aveley, and I've got to be honest, folks, the thought of potentially leaving Aveley is getting more and more real, and it's starting to break my heart a little bit, because I'm comfortable here. I like Aveley, I like this football club, I like what we're doing. It's a slow burner for sure, but I think it is time to move on if the offer comes in. Let's wait and see. Well, we've been unsuccessful. They were satisfied with the plans we put forward in the interview, but ultimately decided that you weren't the right person to take the club forward. They've gone with John Ruddy. Now, John Ruddy has never managed anyone. It's his first job in management. Didn't he used to be a goalkeeper, John Ruddy? I'm sure he used to be. Doesn't really tell us anything about him there. But yeah, so he's not even got a full green star as a manager. He's got a National B licence, and somehow he's already got a 2-star reputation. But I'm not bitter about it. I am a little bit. If we look at the job centre, obviously that job's now, I mean, we could always go for the West Ham job. We're in a bit of a tricky situation. I mean, I've got a contract till the end of next summer anyway, so potentially we still have the opportunity to move on elsewhere in that time. I just don't know how much more we can do with Aveley, if I'm being honest. Since you were last with me, by the way, we have played a game. We played against Sutton. We beat them 1-0. Shamar Lawson scoring the goal there. So it's back-to-back wins at the moment. We're going to be taking on Boston later on today in-game. And I'm going to play that game offline. And the episode against Spennymoor and Dagenham and Redbridge will be tomorrow now. And we will leave this episode as a standalone episode. I'll call it something like The Job Interview. And yeah, it looks like we're still going to be with Aveley for at least a little bit longer. So let me know in the comments. Are you disappointed that we didn't get the job? Are you happy that I'm staying with Aveley? Do you think I should stick with Aveley? Do you think I should keep looking for jobs? I mean, to be fair, I haven't looked, I haven't applied for anything. It's always been people coming to me. But yeah, tomorrow, FA Cup, second round game against Spennymoor, and then Dagenham and Redbridge in the league. Thank you very much for watching, folks. Please leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on your notifications if you want to see more, and I'll see you tomorrow for episode 33. Thank you. Bye-bye.